We've got the face-off now. Emmons is taking the face-off for Concord. And it looks like Bedford tries to come up with it, still on the ground. Now finally, number 32, Alex Bleakley, comes up with it, and Bedford sets up their defense, or their offense. Barreto leaves it for Ryan Toscano, and Ryan waits for his offensive players to join him on the field. And the Bulldogs are on the attack here. No score, 11:35 to play in the first quarter. This is Drew. Takes one. Hits a stick and goes straight up in the air. None of the players see it. And it bounces out of bounds. We'll see what the call is. I think it went off a Concord stick. Did you happen to get a look at that one, Hannah?
Yeah, that went off of Concord.
So they retain possession. Behind X right now was Arbusto. His centering pass hits the ground.
John Drew's about to dodge down the alley. Passes to X. Barreto with the ball. Loses it for a second. Feeds to Arbusto. Goalie save.
That was a good stop right there by number 67, Jay Blasco, for the Tide. Now Bedford's trying to maintain possession here. Sorry about that, Hannah.
It's okay. A lot of pressure by Concord.
But Bedford's able to maintain possession. Our Barreto at X being fought off by Brandon Pearl. Loses the ball momentarily, still on the ground. Teams are fighting for possession. Still on the ground. One of the Bedford players goes down, and the officials call, is it a foul or just a restart?
It is a push in the back. It's a foul.
So Bedford maintains control. Toscano up top, setting up the offense here. Driving against Pearl. Now he pulls back. Gets the ball over to Drew. Drew being watched by Emmons. Behind the goal, Troyer wheels around, up to Toscano, across to Giroux, gets around Pearl, tries to center, and the ball is turned over. Emmons takes over here for Concord into the Bedford zone. Still running with the ball. Gets it inside, pass and score right there.
Nice goal.
Ryan Doherty took a pass, I believe, from number 64, Sam Nickel. And that puts the Crimson Tide up 1-0 here at the 9:42 mark.
Goal scored by number 50, Ryan Doherty.
And I think 64 got the assist there. 50 with the goal, 64. Nickel got the assist. That was a really good transition play by Concord. They're able to take the ball away from Bedford, get into the field, and they're in a position right away to kind of do a tic-tac-toe passing play to get the ball to the open man in front of the net.
Yeah, Bedford's got to get back faster.
Bedford with control here, off the face-off, being checked by, not by Blasco, but by Pope. Barreto falls down, loses the ball, and Pope takes it over. Now he loses it. It goes out of bounds, and Bedford gets the ball back. Nine minutes to go here in the first quarter. Concord up 1-0. Toscano being watched by Kyle McKinnon. Wheels around, still with it, looking for a lane. Fires the ball off the ground into the net, beating Blasco.
Nice.
Great effort there. So Concord ties it. The Bulldogs tie it up right there. A goal by Ryan Toscano at the 8:55 mark of the first quarter.
Goal scored by number 6, Ryan Toscano.
So Ryan was able to move around and find a lane to take his shot there.
Yeah. It looks like Concord's playing a zone, so Bedford just really has to work on passing the ball fast.
So another face-off. Emmons for the Tide. And the ball's on the ground. Number 32 comes up with it, Bleaky. Loses it momentarily. rolls out of bounds, and it will stay with Bedford. Correction, it's going to be Concord ball here. Eaton Tarbell gets it back now to Brendan Pearl. Cruising down the sideline, being watched by Bleaky. Now the pass back to Tarbell. McKinnon. Now over to Sam Nickel. Nickel gets around Hutchins. Tries to center. Ball on the ground. It rolls back to the Tide. Tarbell with control. Now to McKinnon. Sam Nickel. Back to McKinnon. Tied at 1 apiece here with 8 minutes to go in the first quarter. Concord's just working the perimeter, but they lose control momentarily.
Nice check by Quinn Hutchins.
And that was kind of an unforced turnover. Now it goes right back to Concord right there, but just a little bit of carelessness with the ball. Now behind the net, Brendan Pearl, watched by Bleaky, behind X.
Nice check.
And with that turnover,
Fighting for the ground ball. Looks like
still no one's come up with it. And now Sam Nickel for Concord picks it up. Tied back in control. Goes down, no call, but it rolls right in front of the net.
Oh, nice save.
And yeah, that was an amazing save right there. Brendan Pearl was stopped point blank by Matthew Fox after the loose ball rolled right to the crease. Pearl picks it up, tries to get it through Fox's 5-hole, couldn't do it. But Concord will maintain possession here. Pearl gets it to Tarbell. Now Jeff Emmons back to Tarbell. Emmons. There's a hard shot by number 64. Sam Nickel beats Fox to his left. And Concord is up 2-1 at the 6:50 mark.
Goal scored by number 64, Samuel Nickel.
Now ready to face off again with 6:50 to play here in the first quarter, and the Tide up 2-1. Emmons against Bleaky. And Bedford comes up with it. Bleaky sends it back to Enners. Now Bleaky leaves the field, and the offensive players come on board. Jonathan Giroux, watched by Max Van Fleet. Skips it over to Lucas Coder. Coder being watched by Tarbell. Long pass meant for number 12, Barreto. Sailed it over his head. It's now Concord ball. So an unforced error there by the Bulldogs. And now an ill-advised pass right there by Blasco. Hits the ground, but Concord is able to maintain possession. Now we have a timeout. So far, it looks like Bedford's been controlling the play, but Concord's ahead on the points. What do you see?
When Bedford gets the ball on offense, they just make sloppy passes. So they're turning the ball over when it's not necessary. So then Concord just gets the ball back and runs down, and Bedford just doesn't drop fast enough.
Tide coming in here with a 2-game win streak. Wins against Keene 14-3 and Bow 7-6, a close one right there. That's the Division II opponent, but a local rival to the Concord Crimson Tide. Meanwhile, as I mentioned at the top of the broadcast, Bedford with 2 wins, 15-3 over Keene, 11-3 over Salem, but both of those opponents are winless. Bedford needs to start racking up wins against teams above them in the standings if they have any chance of making the tournament. Just 7 games to go in the season for them, and they sit with a 3-6 record. So timeout is finished. Tide comes out, and we are ready to resume play. And Brendan Pearl with it at midfield as the officials are about to blow the whistle, and they do. Max Van Fleet with it. Drops it back to McKinnon. Now McKinnon wheels up the sideline, gets the ball up to Sam Nickel, who had the last goal for Concord. We have a whistle and a call by the official, which results in a turnover. Now the pass inside by the Bulldogs. Connor Arbusto with it, looking for someone to get the ball to, instead decides to take it back behind X. Changes position, wraparound, and a score right there.
That was a really good use of the pick behind the net.
Connor Arbusto ties it up 2-2 at the 5:31 mark of the first quarter.
Goal scored by number 14, Connor Arbusto.
So just like that, Bedford answers with a goal by Arbusto. That's got to be a tough move for a goaltender, to have to be aware of the player wheeling around from behind.
Yeah, they shift from one post to the other, and if it's too fast for them, the ball's already in the back of the net before they know it.
So Concord wins this face-off. Jeff Emmons wins it, gets it back now to Max Van Fleet. Long pass to 91, Brendan Pearl. Pearl's on the far sideline. Slowly wheeled behind the net. Being watched there by trying to get the number here. By number 13, Logan Jernick. Now the pass up the sideline, up to Nickel. Nickel wheels around and loses the ball.
Nice check by Quinn Hutchins. Ground ball. Quinn has it.
Still loose behind X. Trying to come up with it, but Concord chips it out. That was Noah Fye. Last to touch the ball that went out of bounds. It's Concord ball. Now bringing it up the sideline is Giroux. Giroux peels back a bit. Waits for his offensive reinforcements to join him. Toscano, right around the 40-yard line. Now gets it behind X to Barreto. He's being watched there by Joe O'Brien. Wrap around to Tep, goes wide.
Just missed the net.
And Bedford's able to back it up and retain possession there. Toscano was the closest one. He gets the ball into Giroux. Giroux one-on-one against his defender, number 90, Zach Pachout.
Oh, hit post.
The shot off the post. And again, Bedford's able to back that up. Toscano in the right spot. Bedford with control. Play resumes. Toscano moving across. Back behind X to number 12. And a centering pass and a goal right there. Beautiful setup.
Really good ball movement.
Trying to get the number of the player that scored. Was that?
I think it was Lucas Coder, number 8.
We'll get the official word in just a moment, but Bedford is up at.
Goal scored by number 8, Lucas Coder, assisted by number 12, Luke Barreto.
So Coder from Barreto puts the Bulldogs up 3-2 at the 3:34 mark. Good point there, Hannah, about the ball movement. It really makes a difference in opening up those seams on offense.
Especially when you're playing a zone. Nice check by Concord.
It looked like a trip to me, but no call. So the Tide maintains control. Sam Nickel, he gets the ball checked off his stick, and it's on the ground. And Will Enners comes up with it. Makes a long pass up to Ryan Fox, and here come the Bulldogs into the offensive zone. And the pass up to Arbusto is lost off his stick. Still on the ground, Arbusto's fighting for it. The ball rolls past the end line. The officials are going to call it Bedford ball. So we're under 3 minutes here in the first quarter. Dogs are up 3-2. And Arbusto along the goal line. Now the pass up high, up to number 8, Coder. To Toscano, he's cruising in. Toscano passes it down to Arbusto. Pass up to Coder. Coder's shot hits a body. Picked up there by Toscano. His shot is off a goalpost, I think. He's able to pick up his own rebound. Now Drew with the shot. That's off the goalpost.
Another post.
That post is magnetic today.
Yes.
The ball's just finding it all day long. So a couple close calls there for the Bulldogs. But they're able to maintain possession here at 2:20 left in the first quarter. Toscano being checked by Van Fleet. Cuts between two defenders, still with it. Toscano fires a shot and goal. At 2:09.
Goal scored by number 6, Ryan Toscano.
So an unassisted goal there by Toscano. Made a beautiful move to cut between two Concord defenders.
Yes, really good placement of the ball too, off his hip, which is the hardest shot to save.
So we're ready to face off here with the Bulldogs up 4-2. 2:09 to go here in the first quarter. Emmons faces off against Bleaky for Bedford. The official places the ball. Play is underway.
Yeah, she's a great kid.
Both players are kind of locked in a stare down here. Ball still caught between the two sticks. Finally comes loose. And Emmons had the first shot at it, couldn't pick it up. Still loose. Off the stick of Bleaky. Out of bounds, and the officials will say it is Concord ball.
Yeah, she's a really nice kid. I like her a lot.
They say it went off of Bleaky, so
She's a quality young lady, I think.
Brendan Pearl puts it in play for the Tide. Brings it over the sideline. Loses the ball. Now he has to chase it down. Fighting for it. And Bedford comes up with it. Quinn Hutchins is able to wrestle the ball away from him. So Hutchins, crossfield pass up to Jernak. Now pass up to number 33, that's Enners. Enners heads for the sideline as the offensive players come on board now. Drew back on, along with Stoughton. Now Coder there with the ball. Fakes a shot, gets around his man, fires it low between the legs and beats Blasco. Another goal for Concord. So Coder with his second goal of the game.
Goal scored by number 8, Lucas Coder.
When you have the ball, is there a particular point that you have a favorite corner to shoot at? Do you like to go high to the corners, or do you like to try to bounce it in front of the goalkeeper? What do you think is harder?
I like to fake high and then shoot low. Just to fake the goalie out like Lucas just did. He threw some good fakes and shot it low.
So with the 1:14 to play here in the first quarter, Bedford with 3 straight goals. Actually, correction, 4 straight goals. They're up 5-2 here. Ball comes loose and is picked up there by Phil Rapp. Bulldogs in control again. We got an empty man right in front. Arbusto was just all alone in front of the net, but the pass evaded him, and it's going to wind up going to the Crimson Tide here with 1:05 to play. That was a bit of a defensive lapse there by Concord. They were paying attention.
Ball watching.
Yeah. and let Arbusto get behind him. So the Tide are in the offensive zone. There's a shot right there by Doherty that goes out, but Concord's able to back that up. They maintain possession. Sam Nickel, watched by Jernak, falls down, and the official throws the laundry. We've got a penalty here, and it looks like Jernak's going to be going off for a while.
My guess it was a trip.
Will that be a 1 minute or 2 minute?
I think 1 minute.
And not locked?
Not locked.
Okay, that's okay, like a minor call.
Yeah.
Okay, so Concord will have a advantage here for the next minute or so. 44 seconds left in this period. And they have the ball. Pearl. Up to Emmons. Pass intended for McKinnon. He loses that momentarily, but is able to pick it up. 28 seconds to go here. McKinnon still with it, drifting along the sideline. Centering pass almost intercepted.
Oh, nice save.
But blocked anyway. Now the ball's on the ground. See who comes up with it. The Dogs do. Beautiful pickup there by Hutchins. And now Bedford on the attack with 7 seconds to go.
We got a couple 8th graders who are really into football.
Stoughton with it. 2, 3. They're just going to hold off here. Long shot by Toscano is saved by Blasco, and that will do it for the first period. So a terrific run there by the Bulldogs, able to take go on a 4-goal run and take a 5-2 lead here in the first quarter. So Hannah, where do you think that Concord was doing? I mean, that Bedford was doing right there. Do you think it was just the possessions on the face-off that gave them those opportunities, or what did you see out there?
I think it's definitely off the face-off. They were moving the ball really well, or they had really good dodges. People were backing them up. If they missed a shot, they would get the ball back. I think they're possessing the ball really well.
There was that stretch right there where they were hitting the goalpost several times or hitting other players, and yet they were in a perfect position to back it up and maintain possession. So important right there. So we're ready for second period action here. Hannah McCarthy here, member of the girls lacrosse team. Joining me on this broadcast, I'm Harry Kozlowski. And Bill Jennings on camera here. Hope you're enjoying this broadcast on BCTV 23. We have other games ready to do for both the boys and the girls. I believe the one game that we definitely have scheduled is your season finale against Souhegan. That's going to be a very good contest.
Yeah, that'll be a great game.
A strong team, the Sabres are. And we will be here carrying that broadcast live here on BCTV 23. You won't be on the air, though. You're going to be on the field.
No, I'll be on the field.
Oh, yeah. Bill had the idea of we should put mics on you while you're playing. That would be pretty good.
Entertaining.
You think Coach Hodgson would go for that?
Probably not.
Oh, okay. How's the language on the field? Would that be appropriate for TV?
Yeah, that would not be appropriate for TV.
Oh, see, we had no idea. Now we know. Tempers flare. So now Concord going from right to left, and the face-off again between Emmons and Bleaky. Looks like Emmons for Concord had it momentarily. Now Bedford picks it up. Enters. Loses it momentarily, but Quinn Hutchins there to pick it up. Long pass up for Andrew Twite. Bedford on a break here. Centering pass for Barreto. He misses him. That would have been another great setup, but instead it goes out of bounds and Concord has the ball. 5-2, Concord in the lead. We just started the second quarter. Bedford, thank you. Concord bringing the ball out of their zone. Andrew Pope pulling back here as he's being watched by Twite. Now double teamed. Loses the ball in the process. Hutchins has it and comes away with it for Bedford. Hutchins keeps his stick away from the defender there for Concord. He loses it eventually, and it goes right to a Concord player, but they're going to whistle that down. And possession will remain with Bedford. Teams are doing some substitution here as the offensive players come on the field for the Bulldogs. Luke Beretta with the ball as they're ready to start up here. Pass down low to Kochanek. Now across to Krevling. To Giroux. Barreto. They're just working the perimeter now. Kind of working the circle around the goal. Krevling. Pass to Toscano. He had to make a offhand catch the ball there. Now Giroux up high. Down low, shot. Save there by Arbusto. Blasco was able to get a foot on that. But Bedford's able to back it up and maintain possession now. Barreto up to Toscano. Krevling. Back to Toscano. Pass across to Drew. He takes a high shot. That goes over everything.
Shot was from the 30-yard line.
Yeah. That was a laser shot, but Bedford maintains control. They back it up. Barreto tries to wheel around, tries to do another wraparound. Can't quite do it. He hit the back of the net. Concord will take over here. Long lead pass into the Bedford end, intended for Murfield.
Good check.
And a shot right there by Pearl goes over the net, and it's going to be Bedford ball. 10-minute mark here. Second quarter, Bedford up 5-2. And the pass up for Will Enners. Across to Lucas Coder on the field. Got a whistle here. And they're going to call something on Bedford.
I think it was offsides.
And that's going to cause a change of possession right here. So now the pass at midfield for McKinnon. And a pass up to number 84, was it? No, number 64. That's Nickel. His shot bounces wide of the net, but Concord maintains control. McKinnon being watched by Toscano. Pass up to Nickel. Now down to Tarbell. Tarbell tries to get around Coder, can't quite do it. Or Giroux, I should say. Now Nickel loses the ball momentarily. Hutchins had it for a moment. Nickel's able to pick it up even though he's being checked by a Bedford player. And now the turnover picked up by Toscano, carrying it into the Concord end. Toscano showing some of that football speed, getting down the sideline. Arbusto thought about sending it to Kohanek, but thought better of it, hung on to it. Arbusto gets by two men. Centering pass is intercepted by Pearl. And they're going to call an is that like an interference call?
I think it might have been a push in the back.
So Bedford will retain possession right there. Drew gets it to Toscano. 8:30 to go here in the first half. Toscano takes a shot, hits the side of the net, but is able to pick up his own rebound. Now Toscano to Barreto. He's got Kochanek there behind the net with him. Up to Drew. Drew at the top corner. Tries to put a fake on his man. Wheels around, takes a shot. That goes wide. Bedford backs it up and maintains control. So Kochanek for Concord comes up against McKinnon. Centering pass and a shot and a goal to Luke Barreto.
That was a great feed by Drew Kochanek.
Goal scored by number 12, Luke Barreto, assisted by number 20, Dennis.
So as you heard right there from the announcer, Barreto with the goal, the assist from Kochanek at 7:56 of the second period. That's 5 straight for Bedford, and they're up 6-2 in this game.
Officials have any hand motions to tell us what the penalty is, like football?
So on the face-off here, Emmons is able to pick it up for Concord. Drives right in, takes a shot, hits a Bedford player, and now the Bulldogs take control and head the other way. Bleaky up the sideline, evades some pressure here, and we get a whistle. Looks like a timeout called by the Bulldogs. And we'll take a moment off here at 7:41 to go in the second quarter. Bulldogs in a 5-goal run and a 6-2 lead. So this kind of play must be giving the Bulldogs some confidence. Playing a team that's ahead of them in the standings, yet being able to go on a 5-goal run here against a pretty good Concord team, that's got to do a lot for their confidence.
Yeah, they really need some confidence, especially only winning 2 games against winless teams. They really need that confidence.
So this would be a good win for them if they can just maintain this kind of momentum.
Yeah.
Looking ahead on the schedule, the boys are facing this. Believe it or not, this is they only have one more home game after this contest, and that's against Timberlane on Tuesday, May 14th. In the meantime, they travel to Maine on Wednesday to face Cape Elizabeth. Very good team there. Nashua South is on their schedule. That's on Friday the 10th. And then after Timberlane, they're going to Stello Stadium. Nashua North is their opponent on the 15th, Wednesday. On the 22nd, they travel to Ball Stadium at Exeter. And then they finish up the season at Sauhegan on Friday the 24th. So not an easy schedule for the Bulldogs if they hope to make the tournament. But all they can do is take one game at a time, and so far they're in a good position right now with a 6-2 lead. So off the face-off, or actually off the timeout, Bedford with control. Toscano to Giroux. Down low to Kochanik. Centering pass and a save by Blasco off Arbusto. And Concord's able to pick up the rebound. Sam Nickel. We get a flag here on number 12 on Barreto. It's a delayed penalty here. Concord has control in the Bedford end. Nickel looking for somebody to pass the ball to. Doesn't have anybody yet. Just drawing some attention here, but it doesn't matter because once Bedford made contact, they called the whistle, and now a penalty being served by, trying to see who it is, by number 8. Is it Coder? No, we can't tell.
Luke Barreto.
Luke Barreto's going off, number 12.
Slashed him on the redefend.
So probably a 1-minute call.
Yeah.
On this, so Concord will have the man advantage here for the next minute. It's 7:02 to go here in the second. Bulldogs are up 6-2. Ready to restart. Tarbell. He gets it over to Emmons. And a pass inside to Brandon Pearl, and he scores. So that's number 91, Brendan Pearl, with a nice goal there. Nice pass inside.
Scored by number 91, Brendan Pearl.
And they're not giving an assist on that one, although it probably should have been on the pass. So Pearl, with the goal, breaks the string of Bedford goals at 5 and cuts the lead down to 6-3 with just under 7 minutes to play here in the first half. On the face-off, ball is loose inside the circle, and now Bedford picks it up. Andrew Twite comes away with it and carries it into the tight end. He peels away from a checker, Murfold, and now leaves the ball there for Coder. Now some substitutions by Bedford. The offensive players come out, like Toscano and Giroux. Giroux with the ball up high. Slowing things down, setting up the Bedford offense. Toscano. Now behind the net. That was number 16, Alex Troyer. Coder. Down low to Troyer, now over to Toscano. Toscano wheels around. Leaves it there for Coder. Coder for Giroux. His shot just misses the near corner. Goes out of bounds, but Bedford backs it up. Arbusto. Gets it to Troyer at X. Up to Giroux. Giroux tries to evade a check. Leaves it for Coder. Giroux to Coder again. Pass over to Arbusto. He takes a high shot that goes out of bounds. Backed up by Bedford. They maintain control. 5:38 to play. 6-3 lead for the Bulldogs. Now Toscano. Pass down low to Giroux. His shot. He kind of missed everything. I think
yes, he did.
Maybe, I mean, it's not wet. I was going to say his pocket might have gotten a little droopy, but
yeah.
He sort of let off a weird shot there that missed everything. Now Alex Troyer picks it up. Fighting off a check. Gets knocked down, but is able to get the ball to Giroux anyway. Giroux comes back up high to Lucas Coder. Coder leaves it there for Toscano. Toscano winds up. Nice shot, but a little high over the crossbar. Alex Troyer's there to back it up, so it remains Bedford ball. Arbusto takes a shot, another goal post there for Bedford. They get the rebound though. It goes back to Coder, or to Arbusto, I should say, and he gets a shot away that goes wide. Bedford backs it up. Still on the attack. Pearl's guarding him, or I should say Paintshaw. Watching Giroux, now over to Arbusto. Being double teamed, he gets around one man, now another. Centers it up to number 20, Kuchanik. His shot looked like it hit a crossbar again. Bedford able to get the rebound. Toscano is there to pick it up. Fighting off a check, and we've got a flag. Delayed call on Concord. Pass up high, it goes too far. It missed Toscano. They're able to maintain possession though. Coder goes back and picks up the loose ball. So we're still on a delayed penalty situation here. Coder to Arbusto, his shot goes wide, and that's going to go out of bounds. Backed up by Concord, but now we get the call. Is that, I assume, is that a slashing call, that crossed hand thing?
Yeah.
So we have a player going off for Concord, number 90, Zach Panshaw. He leaves the field for what I assume will be a minute penalty at 4:03 of the second quarter. Bedford up 6-3, and the Bulldogs with a man advantage here. We'll see if they can respond to the power play goal that Concord scored moments ago. Play resumes with Arbusto at X. Passes it up to Kuchanik. To Giroux. Arbusto at X. Now to Barreto. Barreto centering pass. To Giroux. Giroux just misses everything. Goes out of bounds. I mean he wasn't that far out. It was kind of a bad miss.
Hard angle.
So Arbusto, with it, he's able to back it up. He's got the ball. Gets it up to Toscano, to Krevling. Giroux, back to Krevling. His shot goes high. Bedford backs it up, though. Still in control. 3:28 to go here. Still with the man advantage. Arbusto to Krevling, to Toscano. His shot scores high. Tic-tac-toe.
They're moving the ball really fast on that one. That's what got him open for that shot.
So Krevling will pick up the assist there.
Number 6, Ryan Toscano, assisted by number 31, Brett Krevling.
So Toscano from Krevling, goal with the man advantage. I don't know if they call that a power play in lacrosse, but that's what it is in hockey.
Yeah.
So they get back to 4-goal lead, 7-3 here, with 3:20 to play in the second quarter. Ready to face off again. Emmons versus Bleaky. Ball is loose out of the circle. And it looks like, nope, still loose, still fighting over it. Waiting for somebody to come up with it. Just being knocked around right now on the ground. Finally, it was number 33, Enters with the loose ball. He gets it back to his goalkeeper, Matt Fox. And Fox is ready to reset the Bedford attack. Pass up to Stoughton. Up the sideline. Gets it to Arbusto. Down to Creveling. Creveling being stick checked right there by number 89, Van Fleet. Able to get the pass up to Giroux. Giroux gets his pass over to Troyer. Troyer comes back up high. Over to Stoughton. Back to number 16, Troyer. His shot, I believe that was stopped by Blasco. Got a stick on that. Bedford backs it up and maintains possession. Creveling. Up to number 10, Brian Greer. That's a pass that kind of handcuffs Stoughton, goes loose, and Concord's able to pick it up. Number 58, Noah Murfield. Long lead pass, a little too far. Here's a chance for Bedford to pick up control again. It's on the ground. But it bounces over to Concord, and they get the ball, and we get a whistle here, a timeout called by the Crimson Tide. I'm starting to see some different numbers on the field. Look like Coach Johansmeyer is starting to give some of his bench players a little bit of time. With the girls team, how often do they do that? How often do they give some of the backline players a little bit of field time?
Usually if we're up by a lot, my coach will put the subs in, but in a big game, like even the midfielders don't get a sub, so not a lot for our team.
So 1:54 to go here in the second quarter. Not a lot of scoring in this quarter. Just 3 goals. 2 of them by Concord. I'm sorry, 2 by Bedford, 1 by Concord. And we're sitting here at 7-3 with 1:53 to go in the half. Beautiful day here today. Not a cloud in the sky, a little breezy. Temperature is pretty comfortable, I would think, on the field. But I wonder, too, if the sunset might become an issue for the goaltender on the left-hand net.
Yeah, you can definitely tell that it was in the first half for the Concord and Bedford goalie.
And as the sun goes lower and lower, it's going to become more of an issue.
Yeah.
So right now, it's in the eyes of the Bedford keeper for another 2 minutes or so, 1:54. Or correction, in the eyes of the Concord keeper. So we're ready to resume here with 1:54 to go. McKinnon for Concord. Pass across to Emmons. Number 64, that's Nickel. Wheels around, tries to get around his defender. Does. Centering pass and a goal. Nice centering pass right there.
It was a beautiful pass. Heads up play.
Trying to catch the number. It was at 91. That's Brendan Pearl with that goal.
By number 91, Brendan Pearl.
So at the 1:37 mark of the second quarter, Brendan Pearl with the goal, with a beautiful setup there by Sam Nickel. And Concord's able to cut that lead back down to 3 again. It's 7-4, 1:37 to play here in the first half. Off the face-off. Emmons is able to pick up the loose ball himself, and he wheels around, gets around Bleaky. Still with it. Avoids a stick check there by Enters. And the Tide are back on offense. 1:18 to go. Emmons. He's running against Bleaky. Up high to Sam Nickel, who had the assist on the last goal. Gets off one and fires a shot himself. Beats Matt Fox, and it's another goal right there. At the 1:02 mark.
Goal scored by number 64, Samuel Nickel.
So that's the second goal for Nichols to go along with a pair of assists. And that was, he kind of gutted that one out. He fought through the defense. It bounced off a check and was able to get a shot from straight up against Fox and beat him down low. So the lead is cut to 2, 7-5. Bulldogs still ahead. 1 minute and 2 to go. Off the face-off, the ball rolls into the Bedford end. Still loose on the ground. And a whistle. The officials are going to call a foul on Concord, so Bedford will regain control here with under a minute to go. Hutchins, being double teamed, gets the ball up to Ryan Fox. Ryan gets it to Arbusto. He's in close by and he scores.
That was a great connecting pass from the defense to the offense.
Well, that was really good awareness there.
Goal scored by number 14, Connor Augusto, assisted by number 3, Ryan Fox.
So Ryan Fox had the presence of mind of, he found her, although I have to question there just for a moment if he wasn't trying to hit Stoughton Bell.
Yeah, he was trying to. But luckily it went right to Arbusto.
Yeah, it kind of, I wasn't sure he was trying to get the ball too, but like I said, Arbusto had an eye on it and actually was probably the better player to get it to. He had nobody between him and the net and was able to score. So it's 8-5 now with 45 seconds to go. Waiting for somebody to come up with, and they do finally. Number 89, Max Van Fleet for Concord. Gets it down to Sam Nickel along the extended goal line. Now he pulls up. Gets it up to Emmons. Emmons tries to get through. Can't. And gets called for something.
I believe it was a ward.
A forearm.
Yeah.
So Bedford with the ball now with under 20 seconds to play. One more offensive chance here. There's a pass, but we got a penalty coming up now. And a shot.
Oh,
and a centering pass by her to Arbusto. Just made a beautiful save right there. Blasco. It was a great setup from Alex Troyer to Arbusto. But Blasco was able to get across and get his stick on it. Made the save. Just 7.5 seconds left here. And a player for Concord, McKinnon, goes off, or correction, to make that number 85, Edmonds, he's going off for a slash. So we have 7 seconds here to get a playoff. Clock is running. 3, 2, 1. Doesn't look like they're going to even try a shoot. They're going to let the period run out, and that does it for the half. 8-5 is your lead with the Bulldogs up ahead. And we are back. Hope you enjoyed watching the 10 and under players there at halftime, putting on a little exhibition.
Sorry, the camera wasn't in that direction.
Bulldogs lead 8-5. Strong game for them so far. They're going to start this period with possession, no face-off because of the penalty that closed out the first half. And Dennis Kochanek with the ball. Back to Luke Barreto. He comes around, hits the goalpost. Ball's on the ground. Still loose and rolling toward the end line, and the officials are going to call it off of Bedford, so it will be Concord ball.
Concord long pole has the ball, clears it to the other side of the field to another long pole.
That's number 97, Mike Leahy.
Concord goalie with the ball, clears it up the field. 89 with the ball.
That's Van Fleet.
Finds an open player, number 85.
Emmons. And a shot right there by Nichols. Concord backs it up and maintains possession. Tarbell to Nickel. Out to McKinnon. He gets it across to Emmons. McKinnon with it again. To Nickel. McKinnon. Working the perimeter. Tarbell down the sideline now behind the extended goal line, 91, Brendan Pearl. He fights off a check from Enners.
Great
centering
low
pass.
save.
Yes. And a break up there, and Bedford picks up the loose ball. Ryan Fox carrying it up the field. Now he gets it to Giroux. Still in his own end. Trying to cross the midline and does. Giroux changes direction, shakes off a defender, and he's joined by his offensive teammates Toscano and Coder. Here's Ryan Toscano to Giroux up top, over to Coder, working the sideline. Coder centers it down to Arbusto, who scores. Great play there.
That was a great pass.
That was by the assist came from number 8, from Coder.
Bulldog goal for Connor Arbusto, assisted by number 8, Lucas Coder.
So at the 10:06 mark of the third quarter, Bedford goes up 9-5 on a goal by Arbusto. I believe that is his third goal of the game. Off the face-off, ball is still loose, and we get a call here from the official. What's it going to be?
I think it's a trip.
So Concord will have control here as they go from right to left. Nickel. He draws a flag. Nickel still with it. He takes the pass and still with it behind the extended goal line. Loses control of the ball. But it matters not who came up with it, because the penalty will keep possession with the Crimson Tide. I think it's Quinn Hutchins who went off for that penalty. 1 minute call. We're going to assume it's a slash. There's a pass up to Tarbell. Now Emmons with it up top. Pass down low to McKinnon. Great save there by Fox. Bulldogs able to maintain, I see the Tide able to maintain possession here. There's another shot from Tarbell. 44 goes off the ground and past Fox. Tide with a goal.
Great movement. Very quick ball movement on that shot.
That comes at 9:11 of the third quarter. Tarbell with his first goal.
For number 44, Eaton Tarbell.
So Eaton Tarbell's able to cut the lead down to 3, 9-6, with 9:11 to play here in the third quarter. And they come away with the possession. Emmons does. He drops it back to Painshaw. And back to Emmons. Concord in possession here. Tarbell waiting for his players to get onside. Nickel with it along the sideline. Being watched by Jernick.
Great slide by number 5, Andrew Twite.
Twite is able to pick up the defense there. Now here's the pass across to Painshaw. He peels away, gets it back to Tarbell. Back to Nickel. Nickel drives between two defenders, takes a shot, but Fox is there with the stick, is able to intercept that with the big stick. Great save. Now Quinn Hutchins into the Concord end. He's still with it with the long stick.
Great checks by the Concord defense. Way to crash on him.
Concord coming back the other way. They set up their offense here. Pass down low to Nickel. Nickel and a save by Fox. But Nickel picks up the rebound. Concord still in possession. Pass across to McKinnon. He's being watched. And a shot, quick shot there, goes wide. Concord backs it up. They maintain control. Now Pearl wheels around. His shot is blocked. It goes out the back. They're able to back it up and maintain possession there. So Nickel gets it over to Doherty. Back to Nickel. Pass up high there to try to get that number. Number 85, that's Emmons. Emmons with a long shot, goes wide, and Concord's able to maintain possession there. Corey Parker just passed along some scores to share with you. In softball, varsity softball, Bedford defeats Central 4-2. Now there's a turnover there by Brendan Pearl. Bedford has the ball back. So Jack Grogan now carrying it into the Concord end. Grogan gets by one check. Leaves it back there for Andrew Twite. Back to Toscano. Twite leaves the field along with Grogan. And Coder along with Giroux join the offense. 6:27 to go here in the third quarter. Bedford up 9-6. Now that's a long pass intercepted by Brendan Pearl. He saw that all the way.
It was a great read.
And now McKinnon carrying it into the Bedford end. Tarbell pulls up. Waits for his teammates to join him on side. Doherty gets around Ryan Fox. He goes behind extended goal line. Doherty over to Pearl. At X. Fighting off a check. Fighting his way in front. Takes a low shot that goes wide of the net, and it's going to be Bedford ball. They are able to back that up. Quinn Hutchins there with the hustle. Earns a possession there for the Bulldogs. Now Bedford comes the other way. Drew with two men on him. Runs right by him over the mid-stripe. Pass down to Arbusto in the shadowed end of the playing field right now. The sun is in the eyes of Bedford goalie Matthew Fox right now. Meanwhile, in the Concord end, pass up high to Toscano. Toscano there being watched by O'Brien. He peels away.
You're 10 minutes away.
Gets it back to Drew. Now Toscano again. Paint shot is on him. Watching him as he cruises the sideline now behind extended goal line. Makes a cut, comes back the other way, centers it. And a hard shot by Giroux goes wide, but Arbusto's there to back it up. Arbusto wheeling around, trying to get away from a check. Now he's got another defender on him. Finds his teammate, number 20. Kohanek, I should say. Now there's a shot by Toscano, bounces wide, but Kochanek is there to back it up, and Bedford maintains control. Now Kochanek uses Arbusto as a screen, gets it up to Toscano up high. Toscano backs up, gets it to Giroux. Giroux puts a fake on, gets the pass down low to number 12, and the pass up now to Coder. He couldn't control it. Now Bedford, Concord comes with it the other way, and we're going to see if we get a call here for the knockdown. Apparently not. Bedford's able to get control right back. Drew bringing it back into the Concord end. Now they pull up and slow things down. 3:42 to go here in the third quarter. 9-6 lead for the Bulldogs. Drew being watched by McKinnon. Now double teamed. Looking for an outlet. Gets it back to Toscano. Toscano with number 52, Joe O'Brien on him. He wheels around. Takes a sharp angle pass behind the net. Barreto isn't able to control it, but Toscano runs it down behind the goal. Now Toscano, we get a official's call here. Whatever this means.
I think it was a moving pick.
That could be. And now Concord with the ball. Long pass out of bounds. That was meant for Leahy. That was a big mistake there by Concord. A pass from Aiden Pope. Sailed over everybody, and just like that, they give the ball right back to Bedford. Another score to update you on, the girls tennis team against Londonderry shut them out 9-0. So congratulations to the Bedford girls tennis team for another big win. Here we've got 2:53 to go in the third quarter. Stoughton Bell across to Drew. He's winding around, trying to get away from the defender. Going back on top to Arbusto. He's double teamed. Now the defense pulls back, but again goes to Bell, to Drew, Kochanik, down to Coder. And now Barreto is knocked down. He draws a flag. Delayed call here on Concord. Coder had it momentarily. Now Barreto had it. And now a whistle. We'll see what happens here.
Trip on 89, I think. 1 minute.
So a penalty call here. Number 89, I believe, Max Van Fleet goes off for a trip. And Bedford with the man advantage for the next minute or so. They're up by 3, 9-6. And Drew behind the net to Arbusto. Across to Kochanik. Up high to 31. That's Kreveling. Now behind X. Arbusto. Center to Toscano just over the crossbar. And that goes out of bounds. It will be Concord ball.
Great hustle by the Concord goalie. Diving for that possession.
Jay Blasco, yeah, he definitely put the pedal down to beat the Bedford player, number 12, Barreto, to the back line. That earned them a possession. So long lead pass. We'll see if this makes a contact. Misses everybody. It's picked up there by Quinn Hutchins. And now it's Enners with it. He gets knocked down.
Hard ride by the Concord attack to get that ball back.
So another turnover here by the Bulldogs. This is going to be dangerous for the next 90 seconds or so because Fox has the sun in his eyes, making it a little more difficult to see the ball coming at him. So Nickel for the Tide goes behind the extended goal line, being watched by Toscano. Toscano's still all over him, but he's able to get around, takes a shot over the shoulder, and he scores, and I believe he draws a penalty as well. So did somebody say it's going to be a locked-in penalty?
Yeah, I think Ryan Fox got a cross-check on that one. Let's see if it's locked in.
So with 1:09 to go here in the third quarter, number 64, Nichols, is able to get the goal and also draw a penalty, a 2-minute locked-in call there, I believe, on Toscano. He goes off. So off the face-off, the ball goes right to Tarbell for Concord. Gets it down low to number 77, Noah Fye. And number 93 is McKinnon with it. Concord taking their time. 45 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Tarbell to Emmons. Back to Emmons. He winds up and fires a low shot that goes in the net. So power play goal there for Concord.
85.
At the 25-second mark, number 85, Jeff Emmons.
Definitely think Fox lost that in the sun on that one.
That was, yeah, that was going to say, that's exactly, I think, what they're trying to do is get behind this, you know, get between him and the sun, so the shot was coming in
Yeah.
at an angle that he couldn't pick that out. So scoreboard here says 9-8, but by my count, I think it's 10-8.
No, it's 9-8.
9-8, did I miss a? I'm going to have to go over these again. So now foul called on the face-off. Bedford gets possession of the ball here with 22 seconds to go.
Just hold it.
That was a centering pass to Kochanek. His shot bounces right to Blasky, to Blasco.
Concord with possession off the ground ball. Flag is thrown.
And that's going to do it for the third quarter. And Concord is able to bring it to a one-goal game.
Just confirming the scores.
So we officially have the score. It is 9-8. Because I thought I had, oh, I see what I, okay, yep, my bad. That was my record keeping that got things off kilter there. So 4 straight goals, or 3 straight goals, I should say, scored by the Tide have made it more of a contest here, just a one-goal game, 9-8. That period was mostly Concord, on not just on the scoreboard, but in the control of the ball and everything.
Yeah, you can see a lot more hustle out of them in that quarter.
So recapping the third quarter, it was Arbusto with his third goal of the game, with an assist from Lucas Coder. That made it 9-5. But then the next 3 goals came from the Tide. Tarbell 44, Nickel 64, and 85, Jeff Emmons right there with 25 seconds left, making it a 9-8 game. And so it's kind of a precarious position for the Bulldogs. Tide have a lot of momentum here. Can't let this game slip away from them. They had a pretty good control of up until this point. And they're going to start this period with a power play with Toscano still in the penalty box. Got about a minute and a half to serve still. So Emmons gets a centering shot there to Pearl, who puts it away right off the face-off there, 11:47. We're all tied up at 9. Number 91. So Brendan Pearl with the goal there. I was going to mention that this is the time you've got the goalkeeper for Concord, Blasco. He's got the sun in his eyes. If they can only come up with some possession here and get some shots on him.
They're going to need some possessions.
But we're all tied up now, 9-9. Off the face-off, ball is loose. Still loose. Jack Grogan tried to win that, couldn't quite pick it up, but he does now. Jack Grogan for Bedford, he's got it. Gets the pass over to Troyer. Concord being very aggressive on the defense, coming all the way out to challenge Troyer. But now Bedford has a chance to not only get some offensive time here, but also work off that penalty to I guess that penalty expired. Toscano's back in right now, so we're at even strength. So here's Giroux. Back to Toscano. Ball drops momentarily. Actually, correction, that is number 8, Coder. Now Toscano to Giroux. Over to Toscano. Thinks about it, gets it to Arbusto, gets by one defender, takes a shot, his arm is hit. So the shot goes wide, but Bedford's able to maintain control. 10:47 to play here, all tied up at 9. Now the pass up to Giroux. Down low to Coder. Over to Toscano. He moves up. Now there's a shadow over the face of the Concord goaltender, Blasco. Coder, his shot bounces wide of the net. We get a flag. It looks like there's going to be a penalty on the Tide here. 89, Van Fleet goes off.
Looks like another cross-check on Concord.
So this will be a 1 minute man advantage here with 10:20 to play here in the game. Game is restarted. Kochanik. Down low to Barreto, up to Toscano. Krevling. Giroux fakes the shot, gets over to Kochanik. Back down low to Barreto. Now Krevling's shot and a save by Blasco. That ball was loose in the crease momentarily.
That was a great save.
And now the long lead pass into the Bedford end. Intercepted by Quinn Hutchins. Bedford gets the ball right back. Toscano bringing it back into the Concord end. He's still driving. Now he finally peels back, loses the ball.
Great
and it's
defense.
picked up by Murfield. Still with it. Over the mid-stripe. Being checked by Toscano, still with the ball. Those long sticks are a little difficult to maintain control.
Yeah.
That's why I usually don't see those long stick middies traveling that far into the offensive end. Another turnover, and Bedford has the ball back. Pass to Arbusto is saved by Blasco. Now Concord coming the other way. Tarbell gets it up now to number 64. That's Sam Nickel. And a shot by McKinnon and a save, or a goal. That puts the Tide up 10-9.
That was a great read. He saw that Bedford wasn't sliding, and he just ripped a shot.
McKinnon.
So number 93,
Concord goal for number 93, Kyle McKinnon.
Kyle McKinnon, gives the Tide their first lead since they were up 2-1 back in the first quarter. And Bedford giving up 5 straight goals. So we'll see if Coach Johanmeyer can get his guys to settle down here and start playing. Another win on the face-off for Concord. Emmons carries it in, fights off a check. Gets it down low to Pearl. He loses the ball momentarily. Goes down behind the net, and the officials call it Concord ball. Pearl on the restart. Crosses the extended goal line. Moves in closer to the net. Tries to make a pass. It's broken up, though. And Fox has the ball in the crease. Bedford in control now. Jack Rogan. Up to Stoughton. And a turnover.
Timeout, Concord.
And a timeout called now by Concord. 8:11 to play here. And they're leading by 1, 10-9. What do you think caused the momentum to shift since the middle of the third quarter?
Honestly, I just think that Bedford's defense is just not sliding fast enough, and obviously that's making Concord have more confidence, which leads to more momentum. So I just think Bedford needs to slide more and talk more on defense.
And the sun is starting to set, and pretty soon the Concord goal will be in shadow. Again, an opportunity to have the sun in the eyes of Blasco for Concord. Haven't really got any good offensive chances now in this fourth quarter. But they have, it's still a game. They're only down by 1, 8:11 to go here. They come out of the timeout. The crowd is cheering on their team. Try to will them to come back here. Now Concord breaks their huddle. And the Tide will have possession. Sam Nickel with it right now. Being guarded by Connor Busto.
Okay, I also have another request.
Now Blasco takes the ball, gets it all the way up to number 89. That's Van Fleet. Van Fleet to Pearl. Goes behind the goal line. Being watched by Andrew Twite. Now he peels away. Stops. Twite is trying to check him. Centering pass to Doherty. From Tarbell over to Nickel, back to Tarbell. They're playing a little back and forth catch. Tarbell with it. Concord just taking their time here, waiting for an opportunity. Now Tarbell, he drives, then pulls away. Comes back and tries to reset things, leaves it there for Nickel. Now Nickel tries his luck on the other sideline. Centering pass, broken up.
Ooh.
Rolls past the crease.
That one almost went in.
And Fox was able to get a stick on that. Yeah, that was a dangerous play right there.
Yeah.
Now Bedford across the midfield stripe. And we get a timeout here. Bell had control of the ball, and now the Bulldogs decide to call a timeout here with 6:58 to play in regulation. They're down by 1, 10-9. They held the lead for most of this game. They had as big as a 4-point lead, 9-5, with 10 minutes to go in the third quarter. But since then, the Tide have been able to score 5 straight and take the lead away. If you were in the huddle there, Hannah, what do you think Coach Johansmeyer is telling his troops right now?
To just stay composed. Don't let the momentum of Concord get in your heads too much, and just focus on the offensive play that he has set for them.
And they break the huddle, as does Concord. Bulldogs will have possession here with just under 7 minutes to go. And Toscano will begin play here. The official blows its whistle, and we're back in play. Arbusto fakes a shot, then drops it back to Toscano. Back to Arbusto. He wheels around. Cross pass to Giroux. Back to Coder. Coder's pass goes right past Barreto as it isn't able to make the catch, and it's a turnover Bedford.
Concord goalie with the ball now, looking for an open pass. Finds number 97.
That's Leahy.
He's clearing it up the field. Made it to the box. Struggling to find an open teammate with Ryan Toscano playing defense on him. He finds number 85.
That's Emmons.
Emmons passes to number 64, Sam Nickel. He's looking to set up a play now.
Okay.
Grogan playing tough D on him. He's behind X now.
Okay.
Passes it to 85, Emmons, who scores a goal.
So the 6th goal in a row for the Tide makes it 11-9.
Thank you.
That goal from Emmons
Okay, thank you.
with a probable assist from Nickel, 64.
Yeah, they're on the wrong way on the one way. So she's turning around on Hooksett Street right now.
So not the direction that the Bulldogs wanted this to go. The hole just got a little bit deeper here, but still 5:42 left to turn things around. See if they can win this face-off.
There's a hold on number 85, Jeff Emmons. Ryan Toscano with the ball now.
Goal by number 85, Jeff Evans.
Ryan Toscano looking to set up a play. Passes to Connor Augusto, who's dodging, looking for an open player. Passes to X to Luke Barreto, who skips it to Lucas Coder. He's looking for an open teammate. Passes it to John Giroux. John Giroux passes to Ryan Toscano. Ryan is dodging. Toscano bringing it to the center of the field. Passes it to Connor Augusto. Connor dodges. Takes a shot and misses. Luke Barreto gets the ball for the Bulldogs.
Bulldogs are trying to find a good shooting lane to get in on Blasco.
Coder with the ball now. Taking it to the middle of the field. High pass. Luke Barreto picks it up.
Giroux thought that was for him.
Yep.
That's our Busto back to Giroux. Splits the defense, but loses the ball in the process. Toscano's able to chase it down. Still hasn't picked it up yet. Tries to golf at it.
He hits it off the Concord defender, number 17.
And nope, number 97. That's Mike Leahy. Yeah, Concord, nobody has low numbers here. 40 is the lowest number on this team. But that's kind of a tricky play there by Toscano. He takes a shot, saved by Blasco. I was going to say that Toscano was able to knock the ball off of Leahy and maintain possession. But now here comes Concord the other way. Shot, number 50, and a rebound save, or a save there. Ryan Doherty was able to score. The first shot was stopped by Fox.
Yes.
But he didn't know where the ball was.
Yeah,
kind of turned around, and they were able to pick it up and put it back in. So a 7th goal in a row now.
Yeah. Very unfortunate for the Bedford defense.
So number 50, O'Brien, picks up his own rebound at the 3:53 mark of the 4th quarter, and that is the 8th goal in a row, or the 7th goal. Let me look. No, it is the 7th goal in a row for the Tide, and they're up now 12-9, and it's going to be a lot harder to come back with a 3-goal deficit if they don't pick up this face-off. The officials are going to blow the whistle and give possession to Concord. You want to call this one?
Yes, 91 from Concord.
That is Pearl.
Pearl with the ball. Andrew Twite playing tough D on him. Concord timeout.
And really all Concord has to do is just run the clock out here.
Yeah.
No need to take a shot.
Just keep possession and move the ball fast.
And if they back their shots up pretty well, they can take a few shots just to maintain possession and keep the clock running here. So really a bad spot for Bedford. They had possession in their end, turned the ball over, and Concord was quick to attack, quick to respond. And really unfortunate that Fox and his defensive teammates were unable to track that ball down after the first shot because it was just sitting there. And number 50, Doherty, was able to pick up his rebound and put it right back in. So big turnaround in this game after Bedford had a 6-goal string. They gave them a 4-goal lead early in the third quarter. They now find themselves on the downside of the lead by a score of 12-9. It's going to be a big task for them to fight their way back into the game. But all they need to do is score one just to get the momentum back.
Yeah, 1 goal at a time.
So we're waiting for the restart here in the Bedford end. It's going to be Pearl with the ball for Concord. Correction, it's going to be Bedford ball. Quinn Hutchins starting. He avoids one check there from Doherty. Ball's loose at midfield. Still loose. Now finally Drew is able to come up with the loose ball and brings it into the Concord end. 3:11 to go. Arbusto. Back to Giroux. Now Coder is on the field. Giroux takes a shot that goes wide. Kochanek in position to back it up. They will retain possession with 2:56 to play. Now Kochanek passes up to Coder. Coder surveys the field, looks for his opportunity, wheels back, drops it off to Toscano. At the top, Toscano slides. Concord's defense slides along with him. And Coder with it. Evades the check. Coder wheels around, centers it, misses number 14, Arbusto, for the centering pass, but Toscano's able to back that up and pick it up. 2:19 to go here. Dogs down by 3. Now Giroux, he wheels around, drops it down low to Barreto, back up to Coder, across to Toscano. That was deflected. The ball is rolling loose. Number 58 got his stick on it. That was Murfield. But the officials will give the ball back to Bedford on a foul. We're under 2 minutes to play here. Bedford's got 3 goals to score in about 1:55. Up, stick between the legs. No call from the official. Giroux bouncing off one defender, now gets around him. Wheels around, he's triple teamed and loses the ball.
That was a great double team by the Concord defenders.
And Brendan Pearl picks it up for Concord and brings it into the Bedford end. Brendan Pearl with 2 men on him to Tarbell. And what do we have here? It's a turnover. So now 1:24 left. Big mountain climb, 3-goal deficit. Toscano brings it into the Concord end. Waits, fires a shot high and a save by Blasco. Great move there. He gets the ball up to his teammate. To 97, that was Leahy. His pass, though, is broken up and picked up by Brian Greer for Bedford. We're under a minute. Toscano brings it into the Concord end. And we get a timeout now called by Coach Johansmeyer. 12-9, Concord ahead after scoring 7 straight. And this is going to be a tough position for the Bulldogs to come back from.
Yeah.
Quick update from other varsity scores around town today. The softball team with a victory over Central, that was 4-2. And girls tennis beating Londonderry 9-0. So the girls aren't playing today, I take it. I mean, usually the schedule tends to line up where if the boys are here, the girls are on the road. So not playing Concord yet?
We're playing them tomorrow at Concord.
Well, good luck there.
Thank you.
Hopefully the girls will be able to keep up the momentum from that victory over Winnicott.
Yeah.
So 50.3 seconds to go here in the game, and Bedford needs to score 3 to force an overtime. This is going to be a game they're going to be thinking about for a while, as they had a commanding lead and it slipped away from them in the third quarter. And play resumes. Toscano with it up top. Sliding down. Being played there by McKinnon. He takes a shot, saved by Blasco. Ball's loose and picked up there by Van Fleet. He throws the ball way downfield, and it's going to roll over to number 50, Doherty. He picks it up, but the officials are going to
call a push in the back.
So the ball goes back to Bedford. Really not much of a harm there with only 23 seconds to play. Hutchins gets it up to Giroux. He's not able to keep it in bounds. Turnover Bedford. 16 seconds to go, and Concord's got control. Leahy throws it up now to Pearl. Runs down the sideline. Just 10 seconds to play here. They just have to run the clock out here. Pearl double teamed. 2 seconds, 1, and that's going to do it. So an unfortunate loss here for the Bulldogs, who had command of the game in the third quarter. They were up 9-5. But since then, they gave up 7 goals in a row and lose the game by a final of 12-9. And that's just going to add to their woes in the standings. They drop now to 3-7, and still in second place, but in danger of falling further behind. And as we mentioned at the start of the broadcast, 9th is the cutoff for the tournament. So it's going to be a big hill for them to climb to get over. Meanwhile, Concord improves to 5-3, and they remain in 6th place, depending on what teams like Londonderry and Hanover did today as well. So that's going to do it from here, from Bedford High Stadium. The final 12-9, Concord with the victory. My thanks to Hannah McCarthy from the girls team to fill in here on the color. Thank you very much for joining us on this broadcast. Bill Jennings on camera. I'm Harry Kozlowski. Thanks for tuning in. 12-9 is your final. Concord victorious over Bedford. You are watching Bedford Boys Lacrosse on BCTV 23.